Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. I don't know if I'm audible, but I'm hearing an echo on my side. Oh, thank you, Warrior. Thank you so much. Beautiful souls, beautiful souls. Yes, it is gone. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome back. Welcome back to all the ones that started with us yesterday on day one. Guys, I'm still processing day one. I even had a running tummy because of the integration, the purging that was happening because of the things that were shared yesterday. And I want to welcome all of you that are joining us for the first time. Maybe you missed yesterday, and for whatever the reason, I'm going to encourage you to please, please, please make sure that if you missed any of the sessions that happened yesterday, please, please make sure that you go and watch. Go and watch, please. Anyway, Gogo Nomasonto. Nomasonto Zwane here. I am one of the medicine women that are here on this planet Earth. I come here with an alchemy of love to help mostly our genetic path cutters to relate to heal their relationship with the other partners, to heal their relationship with first, to heal their relationship with everything else. Because as you know, we are not only the beings, we are not only existing in this human body, but we are existing in different forms. So before I go any further, I would really love for you, as we are about to start, I'm going to share what they've been put in my spirit. I would love for you, wherever you are, to just close your eyes and say to yourself, whatever it is that I know about myself up until this moment, it is history. Whatever it is that I know about myself, it is the past. And I am yet to meet my other self. As long as I'm alive in this journey, I am here to meet my other self. Just let that sink in. Sitting quietly. Focusing on your breathing. Just observe how you're feeling. And as you breathe in, taking a deep breath in and sigh out. Another deep breath in and sigh out. The last one as we open our eyes. Ooh. Welcome, 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 welcome to today's session. We are doing today 2 of the genetic pathcutters healing modality, sharing different modalities. As I've explained earlier, I am Coach Nomasonto. Others call me Gogo, others call me all sorts of things. But you can, whatever that the Lord says to you, you can call me, it's okay. But I am Nomasonto Zwane. I prefer to be called a Sis Nomasonto, Mam Zwane, it's okay. And what I want you to know, I don't even know how to introduce myself anymore, because there's been so many different roles that I have been elevated to. And all I can tell you is, as I'm talking to you now, I am a spiritual midwife, meaning that I help people to give birth. I don't know what birth you are going to be giving to today. I don't know what birth I'm going to be helping you to give birth to, but trust the process. It is safe to be here. You are in the safe space and you are held and supported. Just taking a deep breath and know that you are highly, 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 highly favored. So, Coco Joy sends us a message, and then we're talking about this summit, and then we have got to think about the topics. And because I've already said, held my hand and said I'm going to do this, participate in the summit. Now I've got to come up with a topic, and I'm clueless what I'm going to be talking about. And I'm thinking, and I meditate, and I journal things that just don't come up until the day when she gave us a deadline that you will need to submit your topics at this day. And as I was typing, because I then decided, you know what, I was just about to ask for an extension. And then the next thing, as I was typing, a high warrior, and then boom, you are the Akashic records. And I'm like, what? Anyway, what is this Akashic records, guys? If you are hearing this for the first time, welcome to another elevated to another level of your elevation in healing. Akashic records. When I first heard of this term, on my understanding, I thought it was something out there, something that I just don't know. I remember doing a session with Joy. In that session, she was helping us to access the records. And as I was doing that in that meditation, and then when we do meditations, we will always, the person that is leading the meditation will say, please share what is it. Okay, once we are done, share what you have seen. And it has always been a struggle for me that, but I did not see anything. I could not see myself, and I would think maybe there's something wrong there that I did. And then until I learned that it is not only our way of seeing, it is not only through the vision or seeing it in a picture form. Some people like me, their form of seeing, it is hearing. It is hearing while you are in that meditation and a thought drops in, or you hear something. That is your form of seeing. It is not entirely that whenever we are in a meditation and it said, share what you have seen. It is normally what you have visioned as in a picture form. But what I want you to know that at times, this is the particular case with me. It is I hear things. I hear certain messages. Then I got to learn and understood that that is my form of seeing. Anyway, now, as I'm sharing that in that session, I had thought that I'm going to be seeing these things and so forth. And unfortunately, that was not the case. Now, I'm going to share in a form of a story of what I had experienced through my journey as to what I had seen in that meditation that I did that was being facilitated by Joy, that I did not see but heard in that, and then that came to getting me where I am today and understanding the Akashic records better than I had before. For those that don't know, an Akashic records is the universal library. It is a library that keeps record of everything, the past, the present, and the future. And when we are talking about these records, it's not only records of physical people, but it is a record of any living thing that has existed in this place that is kept in that universal library. Now, what I got to understand was that this library, it is actually a living being itself. It is actively living alive. Now, 2018, I'm doing this other course, 7 levels of abundance. And as I was doing that course, and then we were doing the root chakra for the first month. And in that session, there was a lady who was facilitating a workshop. And in that workshop, she spoke about family constellations. And through that family constellations, I then got an invite, because when you are ready, when the student is ready for whatever it is that you are ready to step into, you will get the teacher, which is what also happened with Joy. Anyway, then I went to attend that session. I was attending there as a representative, as a visitor. And what came out of that session, there were 3 ladies that were participating fully, that were customers or clients. And one of the things that came up, or before we even started the session, the lady that was facilitating that session, she said to us, all of us that are here, either as a visitor or either as a client, we are actually sharing the same experience. We are actually of the same network. We are actually of the same group. And whatever it is that is going to come up, in as much as it's going to come up for these people, but you must also know that it's coming up for you. That was in 2018, April. Fine. What are the things that came up of that constellation, a session that I attended? The family constellation, it's a process where it's a methodology that you are helped to knit and identify what seems to be a problem to what is to these patterns in your life, and then you are also given a solutions. And how that happens, it happens through other people acting out things, and then you you get the clarity, and then so forth. It's a very interesting thing. I'm talking as interesting as just you will think that you are just feeling like you just want to scratch yourself like that, but for that person that is in there who is a client, that is actually a communication, and they, with the facilitator obviously knowing their thing, they will know how to help them structure that or put that into to make sense and stuff like that. Now, some of the things that came up there for those ladies, one of the ladies had something that came up. It had to do with them connecting with her lineage of the royal priesthood. She was from royalty and stuff like that. That was the first message. The second lady, her thing was her relationship. She was having a breakdown in her relationship where she was with money, where she was stripped of everything. And as in, she was eventually deported. She was supposed to be deported to Germany, back into her original country of birth. And then she had already established a family here and kids and stuff like that. Then she was having a problem with her money issues. And in that session, one of the things that came up was that whenever there is a money issue, you must also know that that stems from your mother's side of the family, that there's actually traumas and situations that have not been dealt with that are making you to have these issues with your money. So it is just like the other warriors have shared earlier yesterday, that these traumas that we are experiencing, did not start just with us in this physical form, but they've started even prior. Now, that was the second thing. The third thing was this lady, there was this skill that she was given, the other lady. She had a skill that she had, and what skill did she had? She was a yoga teacher. But the reason she was not doing or teaching yoga, it was because she felt that her voice is too small, is too soft. She can't speak loud, she can't teach and stories. So as a result, she can't do that. But that came out of that session, that this person was not owning her supernatural ability as a natural or a born yoga teacher. This one, her money story was because as a result of her relationship with the mother, the grandmother, and stuff like it, because it went back as far as the grandmother. And then this other one, her problem stemmed from her relationship with her lineage in the royal house. Now, one of the things that came as a surprise to me was that, okay, I understand I'm doing yoga, but I'm not even thinking of being a teacher. That's number one. Two, I do not have at that time a money problem, because I was looking at this lady that was stripped of everything, and I thought, I'm not in that situation. So it is not, I was questioning that in some way. Three, this lady she's from royalty and whatsoever, I know for a fact that I am not of royalty. I know that. So definitely they were talking, but they were not talking. Whatever that the lady has said, I was questioning that. Fine. Fast forward to the journey then that I embarked on after that time, which is also a journey that brought me to connecting with Joy, and we did the other courses with her. That is after those particular sessions. Now, in one of the meditations that we also did in one of her sessions, besides the Akashic, there were things that were brought up about culture and stuff like that. And I remember the message from the Lyrian people was that I need to start embracing my culture. And I was thinking, what culture they're talking about? Because Rona, we are born and brought here. We know nothing about that. None of my families, we don't even have any access to these people. These the other family members. I only know of my mother and her siblings. That's it, and their kids, which is us. Now, what came as a shock to my system was, as I was journeying in this life, in this process, the different things that I was embarking on. Remember, I joined the Water Mistress School as a Christian, as somebody who did not want to hear anything about ancestors and so forth, and only to discover that one of the things that that I learned through the Warrior Mistress School, or I discovered during that time, was that I come from a lineage of shamans. I remember Joy saying to us, all of you that are here, you are actually like me, meaning that you are sangomas. It may not be now, you may not be understanding it, but one way or the other, that is what it is. Personally, I shunned away from that. Guys, I don't see any comments. I don't see any, I only see myself. I don't know if people are here or what. And I've been going on and on and on. Okay, thank you. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now, as I was engaging in this process now, where I'm doing the different healings for my spiritual business and all these other things that as I'm in these teachings, I am physically doing, that actually brought me to actually coming into contact with these aspects of me that came up in that family constellation, that came up in a session that was talking about Akashic records, that came up in many different other forms. And to me, that came as a shock into my system. But how did I get here? That is when I realized that these Akashic records, this information that have been missing in my life, in my family's lives, all of us individually, so we carry it within us. We carry it with us. We carry it around us. But what seems to be the challenge, some of these informations that we carry, they bring so much fear. Actually, it is things that are linked to so much pain for us, in such a way that we do not feel safe, we do not even feel comfortable going there. As a result, we will rather take these things and put them at the back as if they do not exist. That is what I learned. That is what I discovered. What I discovered was that all this time when I thought I didn't know my history, I don't know my father, I don't know we don't have a culture, we don't have guys, as I was doing life, just following what is the next big step, what is the next step, what is the next thing that is pulling me towards. As I was following that, pursuing that, I then helped myself, including my family, to connect with the history that they never knew existed, including myself. But all that was happening is it's not everything. I'm just talking about just the small information, small things that I have discovered until now. To my shock, I had actually helped uncover history that has always been there, gifts that has always been there, capabilities that have always been there, the medicines that have always been there, the magic superpowers that they've always been there within myself, within each and every other people that I'm connected with by blood and by water. Through just me taking those small steps, it activated everyone. It opened everyone to access those Akashic records. What is even interesting is that these records, because you don't connect only to the past, you also connect to the future. Guys, what Akona said yesterday, that part of these spiritual breakdowns or the mental breakdowns that we have, it's as a result of the disconnection in the spirit, in our spirituality. That is actually what was the case with me. And when I allowed myself to go to a place that I was unknown to anyone in my family, to anyone around me, the people that I grew up with, the place that was unknown, when I allowed myself to go there and be vulnerable, that is when I actually connected with the Akashic records that have always been there. I connected, not because I went and go and looked for something it's something that was already there. It's something that is actively there. But the challenge was that I was not open enough. I was too scared to go to that place that is unknown. When we started, I said, everything that you know about yourself is history. Everything that you know up until today, it will not help you from an hour from today for you to still hang on to already what you know about yourself. You have got to get to a space of you understanding and acknowledging that you don't know yourself, because yourself is much bigger than what you already know. Actually, what we already know about ourselves, it is possibly 2% of what we are. So now, when we tap into the Akashic, when we allow ourselves to go in that space, because now in the Akashic, in that space does not live only the beautiful things. There's also painful and hurtful and scary things that exist there. So once you start allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough, to be weak enough, to acknowledge that I do not know. I don't know this place. I do not know as much as I think I know. That is when you open yourself to be supported by the source that knows even better. That's when you open, because what holds us as healers, as genetic path cutters, what hold us back is this us holding on to what we already know and refusing through us wanting to make sense of everything else that must be, and making sense of everything that is happening, or wanting to intellectualize. Like me, I'm an intellect, so everything, it must also first make sense to me in my mind, and if it doesn't make sense to my mind, then it's not it doesn't, I will not go there. But once you allow yourself to go to that space of realizing that, you know what, I do not know anything about myself, I've already discovered so much, clearly there's more to it. That is when you open yourself to this wonderful world of accessing these records that are already existing within you. Now, somebody may be sitting there. I'm sure you're also asking yourself, okay, how do I even start? Do I just sit or go to meditation? How do I even trust and think and know which this is what it is that I'm supposed to be doing? And because there are so many false prophets, so many false shamans, so many false sangomas, and also all these things, how do I start? There's this that I also learned. The tree, okay, the Akashic records, it is actually a book of life. What we call Akashic records, it is a book of life. Now, there is also, in this life, I've been exposed to what is called the tree of life through, obviously, the gospel, through religion. Now, guys, do you know that this tree of life that it's being referred to, it is actually the tree where it is a tree surrounded, or the tree, a specific tree where your placenta was planted. Because the exact fingerprints, or if not fingerprints, there's exact prints of this tree of life, and the prints of the placenta, a human placenta, they look alike. Now, then what does that say? Where it is important for you to know, where was your placenta placed? What tree exists within that space? Because the thumb, your thumbprint, your print, the print of your thumbs, what we see and recognize as your, what do you call it? Recognize as your fingerprints. That same tree, you have similar prints of your fingerprints that is similar for that specific tree. Same thing. There are specific rivers, a specific river, a specific leaf that connects to your fingerprint, that connects to you, connects to a certain river that has got the same prints as you. And some of us are struggling with our relationships. We are struggling with our monies. We are struggling with our health and well-being, because we are so much disconnected from our placenta, which is the tree that is carrying your life. Yes, you have an identical imprint. That is what it is. There is a tree that looks exact, that connects to only you. That is why you will be attracted to a certain type of plants. At times we just think that we just love these plants, but that's not the case. We love these plants because those plants, they speak to who we are. We love those flowers because they speak to who we are. We love these experiences. Maybe like me, I love kayaking, your skydiving, you know, falling. I thought I was scared of falling. That's what I believed. All my life, I was even scared of doing brick fall. But because of this, opening yourself up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And what I like most importantly about our beings, about our support, they will always find or send you to a place that is going to make you feel safe to explore these aspects of yourself. But what needs to happen first, it is for you to acknowledge that at this present moment, I do not know, and I would love to know better. I would love to know more. Then when you do that, then the support that you will get, it will take you to places and to people that will allow you a safe space for you to get access to these records that you are already connected to, the records that you already are. And yes, it will not be a full picture. It will not, because some of us, we are struggling. We want to see what is out there. We want to see the bigger picture. But unfortunately, it's not always that you will see the bigger picture. But as and when you allow yourself to get to a space of vulnerability, when you allow yourself to get to the space of the weakness, when you allow yourself to get into that dark space, that is when you will get access these records. One of the things that I learned recently was around my ancestors, the ancestors, you know, the ancestry. We know that there's luminous ones, then there's those ones that are sick. We've got a lot of those ones that are sick, that are just giving us problems, issues left, right, and center, you know. And I've been calling on my ancestors that are of the help. I've been calling on only those ones. And I remember the other time I was busy ironing. And then I asked, but I don't understand. Why does one keep on getting onto this pattern every now and then, every now and then, every now and then? And the answer was, it is because you are not calling the person or the people that have had the similar experience, that have experienced what you are going through. You are not calling them to come and share with you, one, what got them there? What are the things that kept them there? And thirdly, once you know these things, then it will then be easy for you, for either them or the luminous ancestors to tell you, then how do we then move? Now that I know what is keeping us here, because now when that came, it was that for me, it came as a revelation that no wonder I would want to work with I'll make an example. My grandfather, I'm told my grandfather was a sort of it's Otimos, that those people who were just making plans every day, they will just make plans just to get away, to survive in this life. And then to him, that was a way of living. Now, somebody like that, I wouldn't want to call, because according to me, he was just, as a survivor mode. And then he was just making plans there and there. But When I got that revelation, I got to understand that where I'm needing to make certain, where a person who is able to and have an ability to make such plans, I need to call him, or he needs to step forward with the rest that are like him, so that they can help me to get to understand, and at a deeper level, what is it that I'm in, and what is it that is getting us here, that is it that is keeping us stuck here, because they lived it, they had the experience themselves. Now they know. They are not talking from the headspace with, no, you must do this. No, they know, they've experienced it. So now when I call them in the experience that I'm in as much as according to me, they are not the good ones. That is according to me. They are not the good ones. But bottom line is, when I am weak, that is when I'm made strong. When I am scared, that is when the supernatural abilities, the supernatural powers, the supernatural support steps in and take over. When I received that revelation, I sat and said, okay, now that I know, this is the one situation that has been coming up every now and then as a pattern in my life. I've done all the things that I've learned through different teachers. I've learned through different, in different ways, the different methodologies. None of the things are working. Come, tell me, what is the problem? What is our problem? Guys, the things that came up in that session, I'm still processing them to date. And what's even worse, it's things that I know about myself, but I was not conscious about them. That's what it is. So what am I saying to me and you as healers? When we want to be able to assist other people, when we want to be able to step into the greatness and the powers that we are, we have got to allow ourselves to go to the unknown. We have got to surrender our everything to what is not known. We have got to allow ourselves to go into that dark space. You know that a grandmother of yours that was that was a witch, either they were supposed, they were there was allegations, or we actually know that grandmother, there's a secret that she understood and she knew, but then she used it for the other thing. But when you connect with that grandmother to get that specific information or that a medicine, then you as the light being, because we all of us already have an ability, a mission that we are here for, that is when we'll be able to transmute or change it or alchemize it to be the medicine that you need, as well as your clients, as well as us, the humanity need. But it is asking of us to get to the point where we are too scared to get to. You may be thinking that you are struggling, your partner is not here, you have been asking for this partner to come, you have been asking others, you are already in a relationship, but it is just showing you flames, and you are a genetic path cutter. You are a healer. Then allow yourself to go there where no one else ever in your lineage has wanted to go, so that they can establish the imprints where these things are coming from, then you will find the tree of life. You will find your imprint that is connected to where what plants, what medicine, what a magic that exists within you. Because at the end of the day, we are the Akashic that we are looking for. We are the Akashic, and we hold all the records in our bodies through the millions and millions of cells that are living and existing in our bodies. We hold the information. We hold the solutions. What will then need to happen? It is for you to answer the question, where are you? That's the question that God asked Adam. And then he asked him, where were you? Not because God didn't know where he was, not that he couldn't access him and see where he was, but he knew exactly where he was. So that's exactly what you need to answer. Where are you at this present moment? I am in so much debt. I keep on repeating the same patterns over and over again at this present moment. Not where I want to go, not where I wish to be. Where are you? So that when they send the GPS, somebody to come and collect you or to pick you up or to give you the help, you get the help that you need. Where am I? Where are you? Currently, I'm searching for my soul partner, because this journey as it is on my own, it's not easy. I need the help. I'm calling up on all of you that were in my situation where I will find somebody, but I will not see them for what they are. I will stop myself. I would. You first go and ask those people. Then as you ask, you will get the answers. Because at the end of the day, you are the records. You carry within you the records that are there to help you for the future, to help you with the present, and to also help you to deal with your past. With that being said, I will go on to see the questions. I will check the questions and the comments. While I'm checking that, let's see. Okay, let's see. I want to see if there's any question. Okay. I think okay, yes. All right. Question. Please clarify how can one find Akashic the records, the process. I would love to know who I am and why I'm born, my purpose, any thoughts on where to start. Okay. Where you can start, Nkuli, to access, first of all, where you are currently, where you are placed. I've just given the first step. Identify what this is where and acknowledge this is where I am. 2, now go and check in your surround from where you, even if it's your yard, what type of a tree is there. If you don't know what the type of a tree or the flowers that are there, take pictures, go and do what is called Google reverse. Google reverse will start giving you information. Maybe we don't know the name of the tree, they don't know the name of the flower. It will take you to it will bring out, when you do Google reverse, it will give you all the information that is related to a picture similar to that. Then when you go there, then you will establish first what is the name of that tree. What is then you will dive in deeper to get to understand what is important, what is the magic, what is the connection, what is this particular tree that is within where you are at the moment. Similarly, the plants that are surrounding you, whatever the plant is, go and check. If, let's say, you love roses, for an example, go and check, go onto Google, establish what information about the roses. What do they need? How do they grow? What is whatever that will give you information about you, because you are already everything else that is around you. Even the place that you are placed in even if it's in the township or wherever, already you are being told, have a record of the information that you already need. So go there, go and establish. That's where you can start. Before you go first you acknowledge, be truthful and honest as to where you are. That is where, this is the dark spot that I'm in. Then go and look at these things. Establish, what is this type of tree? What does it need? How does it? That information is there. You can go Google it. You can Google it. Go on YouTube and ask, once you've gotten the name. Okay, I've got a willow tree very close to me. What is what does a willow tree does? And what is then as you engage, then you will then be able to relate to the information that you require at this moment. I hope that answered, gave you a clarity. How can we connect safely, even if with the fallen ancestors, when we have had past encounters that brought up a lot of fear within ourselves when we came into contact with them? Okay. Okay, I'll start with Katlego. It speaks to any plants, even if the pot plants that you planted, even if it doesn't matter, it's indoors or outdoors. It doesn't matter. Any plant that is around you, go and establish, because then it will tell you the type of soil it needs, the type of ground it grows in, the seasons, the what, and what it is there for, and so forth, because all those things are connected to you as a being. Because as a person, you also have a specific flower that is got a similar imprint as you, and then you will be led to that. Now, Akona was asking, what is the safe space? What is the safe way to meet with those ancestors that are sick? The simplest way that I will say is, or that I'm still also diving in more into this, but what have given me a comfort or making me in the safe space, there's a prayer of light that Coco Joy shared with us. And that prayer, I always say it in every Kuri, that prayer is part of my being. And I think I will share it. Maybe I don't know if in the comments or where, but I will share that prayer. But where there's a part that says, I am aligned with God and I'm aligned with the right actions at all times. That prayer, because it's so ingrained in me, I understand that there is no way that God will take me. There's no way that the God, Mother, Father, that can take me to a space that I'm not supposed to be without them giving me the resources, the tools, and the protection that I need. So that prayer on its own, on my side, it gives me the comfort to go into those spaces that I know very well that are not comfortable. I'm not supposed to be there according to me, but it has given me, because it says, I am aligned with God and I'm aligned with right actions at all times, not sometimes, at all times. Trust that helps. Let me see if there's any other question. I did not see any other question. Okay. Okay. No. Thank you so much, warriors. Thank you so much for giving me the space to share. Thank you so much for allowing me. Oh, but there's another question. Okay. While I'm waiting for the next question, because I believe there's another one question that is coming up. Guys, healing does not only happen in the spirit. It starts in the spirit world, but unfortunately, it has got to happen in the physical. What does that mean? when we listen to the word, I will keep on referring to that because that's where my foundation was laid. It says that when God created everything, it was dark in the world, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Now that tells me that the first thing that was there, it was the waters. The waters were always there. Number one. Two, when the Spirit of God was hovering over those waters, then he said, let there be, let there be, let there be, let there be, let there be. But after saying, let there be, let there be, let there be, when he came to creating a being, which is us in the physical form, he had to come into action, the action part, which is the doing part. What does that mean? That means our greatest healing, our greatest medicine comes in what we do. Versus V, what we know. What we do completes the healing that we need. I will answer the last question. Where can one reach you on social media? On social media, I am Facebook, Nomasonto Zwane. Also, okay, I will speak to that Homolimo just now. Any social media, I am definitely on Facebook, and then I've got a Facebook, YouTube, Dr. Nomasonto Zwane, and then I've also got a blog, Nomasonto Zwane. But yeah, when you connect to me on Facebook, you will be able to get all the other handles where you can connect with me. And the clouds, guys, the clouds, it is the voice. The clouds, it is the voice. It is communication that is happening via the voice. Meaning that Homolemo, now going forward, you have got to listen to your thoughts when you hear the clouds forming or whatever that you are hearing, or at times with listening to but when you are connected to the clouds is a form of communication as well. And when it is those clouds where maybe there's a thunderstorm and things like that, it is actually even a communication that is happening in the sound, meaning that you've got to hear, listen attentively, and pay attention. That is it from me, warriors. Thank you once again. Thank you, everyone that is connected with us and me. I now say thank you, 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 thank you. If you're one of those people that really needs to connect and walk in this journey, you want to get to the space of being vulnerable to the core, and you want to, somebody who's going to hold your space, then you know where to connect with me and how to connect with me. Thank you so much, warriors. Thank you.